Hi, my name is Richard Garcia, America's math teacher. In this lesson, we will learn an important skill, division. We will break it down into its basic parts in order to understand it. It is helpful to know what each number in a division problem represents. You might say each number has a particular job to do. Let's turn to our lesson and see what we can discover.
Deconstructing division. Today we're going to be talking about division. Have you ever heard of it? If you haven't, you will. We are going to talk about what it means and how to do it. For those of you who know about it, you might think it is hard. But it's really easier than you might think. Let's begin by identifying the three basic parts of division. There is a dividend, a divisor, and a quotient. To me, these three words have always been confusing. So, I'm going to break them down for you and me to understand. You might think of a division problem as a factory. A factory is a building that is used to make things. In a factory, there are three main parts. We call these parts departments. There is a management department. This is where the bosses hang out. There is a procurement department. This is where the materials are kept to make what we want to make. There is an accounting department. These are the people who keep track of what is made. Let's begin with the management. These are the bosses. Each division problem has a boss. The boss of a division problem is the divisor. It tells us what we're going to make and how we're going to make it. If the divisor is a 4, then we will make 4s. If the divisor is a 3, we will make 3s. If 6 is our divisor, we will make 6s. The divisor, our boss, also tells us how to make the 4s or 3s or 6s. It tells us to make them by making groups of them. Making groups is really what division is all about.
Division is all about making groups. Division means breaking apart. Knowing this will make division a lot easier to understand. In division, we break apart a set of objects represented by a number into groups. Let's go back to our lesson.
So remember, the divisor tells us what to do. He is the boss. Let's move to the procurement department. This is the department that handles the materials. This department tells us what we're going to use to make our groups. It might tell us to use 6 of something, or 12 of something, or some other amount. Let's look at how it works. If it gives us 6, and the divisor, our boss, tells us to make groups of 3, we will be able to make 2 groups of 3. If there are 12, and the divisor tells us to make groups of 4, we will be able to make 3 groups of 4. The last department is the accounting department. This department keeps track of how many groups we were able to make. We call it the quotient. If we're able to make 4 groups of 3 from 12, we report this number to the quotient. The quotient keeps track of how many groups we made. Get it? Let's practice. Let's say that we have 15 of something, and the boss tells us to make groups of 5. We will have 3. 3 is what we will report to the quotient, the answer. Let's practice some more. Let's say we have 14 of something, and the boss tells us to make groups of 2. We will have 7. 7 is what we will report to the quotient, the answer.
Remember to practice, practice, and practice. The more you practice, the better you will become. Don't be surprised if you even start to know the answer to division problems as soon as you see them. Practice will make this possible.
Let's try one more. 13 divided by 6. In this problem, we were able to make two groups, but something is different. We have one left over. This is known as the remainder. In this problem, we have some material left over. In our next lesson, we will talk about what to do when this happens. Don't worry about it right now. I will show you what to do in the next lesson.
In this lesson, you learn the most important part of a division problem is the divisor. Remember to listen to what it says. Remember also that division is about making groups. And don't forget to report to the quotient. He wants to know how many groups you made. We'll see you next time as we discover more about math.